Okay, so this is what we had started yesterday, the Introduction to Cloud Computing NIST model. Now, while I explained to you, I told you that NIST stands for National Institute of Standard and Technologies. Okay, so this is National Institute of Standard and Technology. So this is the association who sets standards for the architecture of a few things and all. So cloud computing architecture is fixed by this particular body or association, which is accepted worldwide, and this is what is used everywhere. Okay, when we talk about cloud computing, so the standard architecture what NIST has fixed, that is what is followed everywhere. Now we discussed about cloud computing, what cloud is, why is it required, what were the challenges which were faced before cloud computing came into picture. So we saw that if I have to use anything which is present on cloud, the very important thing is internet. Okay, because internet is the one thing that connects our devices with the cloud. Okay, anywhere and anytime. And since internet is a commodity, or internet is a component which is present 24/7, 365, that is why cloud, I mean, whatever data we put on cloud, that is there. Okay, and that is the reason we can access it anytime. अगर मुझे रात को मेरा कोई presentation check करना है, suppose that presentation is present on Google Drive, then I can use it. Okay, there is no time limit, there is no restriction on time or anything, there is no restriction of place unless and until we have the proper connectivity of internet. So that is what is the standard definition of cloud. So what all things cloud supports, or cloud provides to the user. So we get softwares, we get analytics help, we get security to for our data. Then we can use cloud for data storage. Then we can use cloud for networking. So everything is provided, or everything is there on cloud. We just have to understand what our requirement is, depending on our project or depending on our application. So how many of you have used Dropbox, or how many of you are aware of Dropbox? Have you people heard of Dropbox? सुना है आप लोगों ने वो क्या
Yes,
कर
yes, ma'am. It's like much more like a Google Drive where we store files.
Google Drive,
yes
kind of.
yes so this is
Fine
only
Drive.
for storage. It is only for storage, right? अगर आप Dropbox में अपना अकाउंट बनाते हो, so you are all aware that Dropbox is a place or is a website where you can store your data. So now what is that? That is also cloud. ये भी आपका क्लाउड है, और ये क्लाउड क्या काम कर रहा है? इट इज ओनली there for the storage purpose. Now when we talk about Google Drive, so Google Drive, like Google provides us with the drive commodity, which is again only for the storage purpose. But then, as I told you, like when we were discussing yesterday, Google is a company which provides us multiple this क्या कहते हैं, helpful applications. Okay, Google Drive is one thing out of it. Otherwise उसके अलावा क्या क्या मिलता है? We have Gmail, so that is only for the mailing purpose. And as you know that we do not have to download anything physically on our system, and that is what cloud is all about. Okay, virtualization is the main beauty of cloud computing. So you do not have to burden your physical machines, you do not have to invest in your physical machines as such, but जो भी आपको create करना है, or all those things will be created on cloud. So this was a small introduction. Then we saw that what were the problems faced before the use of cloud computing, what were the challenges. Then all those things were discussed. Then we started discussing that what happened after cloud computing came into picture. So this is after, not before. ठीक है. So जब cloud computing famous या popular होना शुरू हुआ, then people started getting acquainted with the usage of cloud computing. And as I told you, these days we have so many cloud computing platforms. Like we saw yesterday, we have Amazon AWS, then we have Google Cloud Platform, that is GCP, then we have IBM Cloud. Okay, then we have Microsoft Azure. Okay, so as you can see, there are big brands which are coming into this: Amazon, Google, IBM, Microsoft. Okay, so these are some big companies and big brands who know and who want people to start using cloud, because everybody knows that the things are becoming, I mean, the internet connectivity is becoming so cheap, and the data, the kind of data what we are using, that is so huge. Okay, अगर आप देखोगे, now suppose we create our account on Facebook. ओके अगर आप आपने अगर फेसबुक पे एक अकाउंट क्रिएट किया है एंड सपोज यू विजिट अमेजोन, ओके अगर आप अमेजोन पे कोई शॉपिंग करने के लिए कोई अगर चीज ब्राउज करते हो एंड सपोज यू गो बैक टू योर फेसबुक अकाउंट, यू स्टार्ट सीइंग the ads or the ads related to the products what you just browse on AWS. How all these things are happening? Because your data is being fetched everywhere, and how that is thing is happening, that is happening through internet. Okay, and now when all these things are happening, okay, obviously nobody is going to save that data on physical machines. Imagine everybody these days has have got a smartphone, सबके पास जियो का सिम कार्ड है, सबके पास 4G का नेटवर्क है, ठीक है. So everybody is using internet, right? And the kind of data what we are pushing on the web on a per second basis, that is so huge, right? So in order to tackle that, or in order to handle that, obviously physical machines are not going to be sufficient, and that is why we have big data centers which are going to take help of, or which are going to process all these data. And data centers kya hai? Data centers again, they will not be physical machines, but they will be virtual machines or virtual इंजन्स. ओके, और ये वर्चुअल इंजन्स कहाँ पे क्रिएट किए जाएंगे? क्लाउड पे. और क्लाउड पे किस पे क्रिएट करना है? दैट डिपेंड्स ऑन द स्पेसिफिक कंपनी. कोई शायद AWS यूज करे, कोई शायद गूगल यूज करे, कोई शायद IBM का यूज करे, फिर कोई Azure का यूज करे, राइट? So these companies are giving us the platform where we can go, we can use their services ready made, okay, and create our own applications. Okay, and what kind of applications? Applications which are not going to stop running at any hour of the day. अगर आपको याद होगा, ये like I don't know how many of you have used, but there's a website called as irctc.com, irctc.gov.in. ये क्या है? ये अपनी रेलवेज की गवर्नमेंट वेबसाइट है. Okay, irctc.gov.in, where you go, where you can go and book your train tickets. Now this particular website has been hosted on cloud. Okay, like before, like few, like say maybe 5 years के पहले, it was a physical website. मतलब जो railways का server था, okay, there they used to handle this particular website. So now there is a funda called as Tatkal ticket. I hope you all know that. Okay, so there is a thing called as Tatkal ticket. Tatkal क्या करता है? Like suppose I have to travel tomorrow in emergency, तो मेरे को आज टिकट निकालनी पड़ेगी, and the Tatkal window starts I think from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. ओके, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. सिर्फ 2 घंटे के लिए वो विंडो ओपन होता है, एंड यू कैन बुक अ कंफर्म टिकट इन तात्काल कोटा, राइट? नाउ व्हेन द irctc.gov.in, this website was not present on cloud, when it was handled by its own on premise servers, ये जो स्लॉट है, it used to lag a lot. ओके, इस पे काम हो ही नहीं पाता था. लाइक यू जस्ट इमेजिन, there are n number of people who want to book their ticket. So this particular website was not able to handle the traffic in this particular duration, because तात्काल एक ऐसा duration है जहाँ पर सब लोग log in करेंगे and they will wait for their turn to book the ticket. Okay, so because the website was not present on cloud, so the traffic and the load balancing was not proper. And always it used to happen कि आपका तात्काल में टिकट बुक ही नहीं हो पाता था, then you used to give money to some agent, वो agent offline करके दे देता था, etc etc. So these were some physical, or these were some real time issues which used to happen, or which happened when cloud computing was not adapted, right? But then obviously once this website was, now again this website is present on AWS. irctc.gov.in, ये वाला website is hosted on AWS. Now since the moment it started going on cloud, जब से वो cloud पे गया है, all these problems have vanished. At least इतना traffic jam या फिर इतना traffic का load problem नहीं होता है, because the things are getting balanced on the cloud because of the servers properly. Okay, and now the things are what you can say, working smoothly. So that is what is the advantage of cloud computing. Okay, so whenever we fail as a physical server, cloud computing does not fail. Why? Because क्या होगा अगर मेरे पास यहाँ पे इस वेबसाइट के लिए बहुत सारा ट्रैफिक अगर आ रहा है, राइट? नाउ देयर विल बी मल्टीपल डेटा सेंटर्स ऑफ AWS. irctc.gov.in does not have to bother that which data center is going to handle my request. Okay, now there are so many data centers of AWS which are present at multiple places, multiple countries, multiple cities, multiple continents, right? So you don't know that from which data center that particular thing is getting triggered at that particular moment, right? And because of multiple options are there, okay, your website is not going to stop at any given point of time. तो वो जो डेटा क्रैश होता था, लाइक से फॉर एग्जांपल, even in between, Myntra had got crashed, Facebook crash हुआ था, Gmail crash हुआ था. Why? Because at times data breaching होता है, so that is a different issue. But you have to remember that the data centers will not stop, okay, unless and until a very big or very worst condition pops up, right? And that is the advantage of putting all your things on cloud. So again, so these are some advantages of using cloud computing over on-premise computing. Yeah. So these are the benefits. It is easily upgraded, then it is cost efficient, it is scalable. So we discussed about scalability yesterday, that suppose I don't know what is the requirement, okay, what requirement will be there actually when my website will go live or when my application will start running. So it is scalable. Agar matlab I can create my application keeping some threshold value in my head. Say for example, for 100 customers, एंड आई कैन स्केल इट मीन्स अगर 100 का 150 भी हो गया या फिर 100 का 50 भी हो गया, वॉट एवर इट इज, इंक्रीज और डिक्रीज, both these things are handled by Amazon cloud very easily, because of the scalability factor. Now suppose this would have been a physical component, increasing or decreasing, both of them would have required a lot of finance or a lot of financial repercussions, right? So that is why it is said that our cloud is very cost efficient. Now, as I gave you an example, for AWS, even you people have done so many certifications in AWS. You must have seen AWS provides n number of things in the free tier component. Okay, now free tier matlab kya hai? You can use all these components free of cost. Okay, at what cost? You just have to give rupees 2 for the handling charges. So Amazon is actually, like AWS is actually charging you only 2 rupees, okay, for the free tier membership. If in case by mistake, if you take any paid commodity, only in that situation आपका billing continue होगा. But otherwise, there are so many things which are present or which are available free of cost. That is why it is very cost efficient. Okay. Now it is automated. Automated as in we do not have to worry about, as I told you, load balancing. You have to worry about how the things are taken care at the network side. So all these things are automatic, which are taken care by the cloud platform. Okay, so that is why as an end user, I do not have to worry how the things are how the things are working, but because all the things are taken care automatically. It is highly available. Highly available means ऐसा कभी नहीं होगा कि अगर आपको किसी क्लाउड प्लेटफॉर्म पे मेंबरशिप लेनी है एंड इट विल से कि सॉरी वी आर out of order, or suppose we do not have we do not allow more members. No, it is highly available because the what you can say, um, the amount of data which is present, the amount of space which is present in cloud is so huge that it is not ever going to end. Okay, so that is why it is highly available. The cloud platform will be always available for the end users. इट इज फ्लेक्सिबल. फ्लेक्सिबल मीन्स अगर आपने क्लाउड कंप्यूटिंग या फिर आपने अगर किसी क्लाउड प्लेटफॉर्म पे अपना अकाउंट बना के रखा है या फिर वेबसाइट पोस्ट करके रखा है, इट इज फ्लेक्सिबल इनफ दैट यू कैन एक्सेस इट फ्रॉम एनी डिवाइस. आप अपने मोबाइल से भी यूज करो, टैब से यूज करो, लैपटॉप से यूज करो या फिर डेस्कटॉप से यूज करो. As far as you have internet connectivity, stable internet connectivity, the things are so flexible that you can access it anytime, anywhere. Then it is better security. Security, as I told you, that security is also a feature which is provided or which is present in every cloud platform. So whatever application you are creating, you can assemble all the security related features also in that. हो सकता है कि जब आप अपना डेस्कटॉप एप्लीकेशन बना रहे हो तब शायद आपको इतना नॉलेज नहीं हो नेटवर्किंग, सॉरी, सिक्योरिटी का. सपोज आई डू नॉट नो कंप्यूटर सिक्योरिटी दैट मच, then I might keep, or I might have my application open for data breaching, right? But on cloud, the security features are taken care of because already you are using the cloud platform which belongs to some brand. आप Amazon का use करोगे या फिर आप Google का use करोगे. Already they are such big brands that they take care of the security on a very high level, right? So whatever applications you are putting on their platform, obviously all those applications will also be taken care of. Apart from the basic securities, you can also introduce your own security models, which are also provided on the cloud platform. Okay, so that the data security is very high on cloud as compared to on-premise. Then customization as in depending on the user's need. हो सकता है आपके एप्लीकेशन का रिक्वायरमेंट कुछ अलग है, मेरे एप्लीकेशन का रिक्वायरमेंट कुछ अलग है. माय एप्लीकेशन इज completely is fully available or can be fully deployed under the free tier membership. For your application you might need to pay something, so depending on that you can make the customized applications, and all those features are also present on cloud. So these are the benefits of using cloud computing. Now, this is very important, the architecture. So this is the architecture which has been proposed by NIST. So I'll first show you the technical diagram and then we will see the explanation. So this is how your cloud computing architecture looks like. So this is cloud. ठीक है, ये जो आपने यहाँ पे जो ऐसे दिखाया हुआ, so this is the cloud. Now on cloud, what all things are present? You can have your applications, you can use it for storage, you can use for any infrastructure, right? And as you can see, you can use it via your laptop, tabs, mobile phones, and your desktops as well. ठीक है, so what exactly is present? ये तो cloud है, but ये cloud के अंदर exactly क्या present है? So it is something like this. This is where your internet comes into picture. Okay, now when I am using Google Drive, अगर मैं Google Drive पे कोई document upload कर रही हूँ या फिर Dropbox पे कोई document upload कर रही हूँ, so we are using the front end. Front end of what? That particular application. ठीक है, तो मैं जब गूगल ड्राइव पे यूज करती हूँ, सो आई सी दैट पर्टिकुलर सिंबल गूगल ड्राइव का, वेयर आई ओपन, आई सी माई स्पेस एंड आई कैन सिंपली अपलोड माई डॉक्यूमेंट. तो ये जो पार्ट है, दिस इज योर फ्रंट एंड. ठीक है, that front end is getting connected with the back end through the internet. Internet connectivity is what you need to have. Now what exactly happens in the back end? तो ये जो गूगल ड्राइव के बैक एंड में क्या है? It will have security. Okay, then it will be the application. So what is this application? This Google Drive. Okay, then there will be a management team which will manage everything which is happening inside this. Then you will be having certain services as in ये IaaS है, PaaS है, SaaS है, okay, all those services which are required to function the Google Drive smoothly. So all those services will be present here. Then the cloud runtime, then storage, then infrastructure. So everything. So all these things are hidden from you. All these things are hidden from the end user. हमें क्या लगता है? हमें सिर्फ ये दिखाई देता है, right? There's a simple screen where I upload my document. When the document is uploaded, I start seeing the icon of that document. So this is only what is visible to us. But in the background, all these features are available. Now we will see these features one by one. Yeah. So as you can see, so this is what is the pictorial representation. This is what we use, the front end through the internet, and this is what is present in the back end. So now all these topics we will see one by one. Okay, so what is front end? Front end is the application that provides the interfaces that are required for the cloud-based service. So that gives us the interface. Interface as in for Google Drive, say for example, हमें login ID और password चाहिए. We log into that, we open that window, we upload the document. So the interface is given. Okay, the graphical user interface is what we are using on the front end. Then these applications are web browsers such as Google Chrome, Internet Explorer. So whatever we have to use, we will be going visiting all those websites through the browser. अभी तो हर एक website का app create हो गया. Now this is a new trend. Okay, for your projects also, अगर आप कोई website बनाना चाहते हो, तो generally we make the application also. Say for example, Moodle. Okay, moodle.apsit.edu.in is there. Like suppose you visit to your college, आप browser में open करते हो. बट अगर आपको फोन में ओपन करना है तो Moodle का खुद का एक ऐप भी है प्ले स्टोर पे. ठीक है, आप प्ले स्टोर पे जाओ, Moodle को डाउनलोड करो, पुट योर क्रेडेंशियल्स एंड Moodle इज ओपन. सो व्हाट इज हैपनिंग, दैट ब्राउजर डिपेंडेंसी इज getting discarded when you are using your mobile phones or tab. ठीक है, because that becomes easier to access when we are having small devices. Okay, so in order to access that we need to have a browser, but apart from browsers these days we are having the applications also. Yeah, so it includes clients and mobile devices. Fine. Then that was all about the front end. Now what happens in back end? What is present in the back end? So back end manages all the programs that run the application on the front end. जो भी front end पे होने वाला है. So as I told you that as a end user, we only see that okay, Google Drive का एक platform है where we are uploading the documents. But what exactly is the logic behind that? How it is done? All those portions will be covered inside the backend. So it has a large number of data storage system and server. Obviously, if it is an application, if it is a cloud computing application, or suppose it is a simple website also, अगर आप small website भी अगर create करोगे, then you know that the website is open and the website is available for so many users and so many customers, right? So obviously the kind of data or the amount of data which will be accepted by my website will be so huge that my backend should have the provision, okay, to what you can say, to handle that much amount of data, right? So my backend should be it should be available, or it should be big enough to handle that much of storage. Okay, so we will first see the application part. So this was about the front end and the back end, the first two sides of your cloud computing or application or any kind of application. Now we will see the first component inside the back end. So now we are starting discussing about the backend. Backend के अंदर we are first discussing about the application part. Now, what exactly is application? So, application can be a software or a platform. So that depends. आप क्या चीज यूज कर रहे हो. अगर आप एक वेबसाइट यूज कर रहे हो तो वो प्लेटफॉर्म होगा. बट अगर आप कोई जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल अगर मैं कोई VMware यूज कर रही हूँ या फिर मैं कोई वर्चुअल बॉक्स यूज कर रही हूँ which is present on cloud, so that will be the software. So that depends at what your application is. Application can be a software also, or application can be a platform also. ठीक है. Now, based on the requirement, the application provides the output to the end user in the backend. So, depending on what the user has requested. Okay, now suppose I log into a website. Suppose I want to see the contact us page. Okay, so the request sent by the user is to view the contact us page. So application क्या करेगा? Depending on what request is coming from the front end, depending on that, the application will provide you the output. Okay, suppose the user wants to register for some exam. ठीक है, so registration form अगर exam का है, then obviously that respective response should be coming from the backend. So the backend or the application should be designed in such a way that whatever is the request given by the user, that should be processed correctly. Okay, and according to that, the correct output or the correct response should be given to the should be coming from the backend towards the front end for the user. Now again, it is said that with resources. Now it's not necessary that is the reason it is written in the bracket. अभी बैकएंड से रिसोर्सेज एज इन कोई रिस्पॉन्स हो सकता है किसी पासवर्ड के साथ आ जाए. सपोज फॉर एग्जांपल अगर आप गेट एग्जाम के लिए रजिस्टर कर रहे हो या फिर अगर आप किसी एंट्रेंस एग्जाम के लिए रजिस्टर कर रहे हो एंड सपोज यू नीड अ पासवर्ड. सो जनरली ऑल दीज वेबसाइट्स प्रोवाइड यू विद अ डिफॉल्ट पासवर्ड और समथिंग. सो इट मे हैपन दैट फ्रॉम द बैकएंड अगेन यू आर गेटिंग समथिंग. ओके, जैसे एक PDF अगर जनरेट हो गया, सो दैट इज अ रिसोर्स व्हिच द बैकएंड इज प्रोवाइडिंग यू. ओके, सपोज अगर आपने कोई एप्लीकेशन फॉर्म भरा था GRE का या whatever, then that report का PDF form is generated and that is coming from the backend for you as a user for a download purpose or for a printing purpose or something like that. Okay, so again that output depends on what application, what requirement is present. Now we will talk about the service. The second thing what we have to discuss is the service. Now, what service is? It is one of the most important component of the cloud. It is to provide the utility in the architecture. So, whichever utility or the utilization is present, okay, क्या करने वाले हैं, कैसे करने वाले हैं, all those things will be taken care by the service model. Now, the few services that are widely used among the end users are storage, application development, environment, web services. So, when we will we are going to discuss the service model in detail. तो सर्विसेज के अंदर क्या क्या प्रेजेंट है. तो सर्विसेज के अंदर अ पर्सन और अ एप्लीकेशन कैन यूज इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर. ओके, it can be simply a storage service, it can be a simply platform as a service. Okay, or it can be something which is only related to database, or it can be only related to programming. It can be anything. So depending on what your application is, say for example Dropbox. तो Dropbox का सर्विस क्या रहेगा? सिर्फ स्टोरेज का. ओके अगर सपोज मुझे कोई डेटा फायरबेस है या मोंगो डीबी है, सो ऑल दीज थिंग्स आर अगेन प्रेजेंट ऑन क्लाउड. सो व्हाट आर दीज आर द नो सीक्वल डेटाबेसेस, राइट? तो हो सकता है कि मेरा एप्लीकेशन है जहां पर वो सिर्फ डेटा स्टोर करके रखने वाला है, नथिंग एल्स. सो दैट कैन बी अ डेटाबेस एज अ सर्विस. ओके, द सर्विस मॉडल depends, and the service model is taking care of what kind of data or what kind of service your application is based upon. Okay, so that thing is present inside the service part. Now, so this is what is for the service part. I hope you people are paying attention. If any doubt, please let me know. If I'm fast, if I'm slow, please let me know. After service comes into picture the storage part. Now, storage is where all the data will be stored. So there will be a component in the backend. ओके, एक ऐसा आपका स्पेस क्रिएटेड रहेगा कि वॉट एवर डेटा इज कमिंग फ्रॉम द फ्रंट एंड दैट शुड बी स्टोर्ड. से फॉर एग्जाम्पल, अगर मैं गूगल ड्राइव यूज कर रही हूँ या फिर अगर मैं फेसबुक यूज कर रही हूँ, तो फेसबुक पे व्हेन आई पुट माय ओन आईडी पासवर्ड, फेसबुक विल ऑब्वियसली ओपन माय पेज, okay, my friend list, my messages or my photos, right? So that means ये जो storage है, that is कस्टमाइज और दैट इज यूजर बेस्ड. जब आप लॉग इन करोगे तो आपका पेज, आपका फ्रेंड लिस्ट और आपका मैसेजेस डिफरेंट रहेगा एज कम्पेयर टू मी. ओके, व्हेन आई लॉग्ड इन, सो द स्टोरेज इज डिफरेंट फॉर एवरी यूजर, राइट? सो दैट इज व्हाट हैज टू बी टेकन केयर. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि जब मैंने लॉग इन किया तो आपका डेटा दिख रहा है. दैट शुड नॉट हैपन. सो that is where the storage comes into picture. So for every user, a separate storage component is created. So storage is responsible for maintaining and managing the data over the internet. Now storage use karne ke liye, as I told you, again we have Amazon S3, we have Oracle Cloud Storage, Microsoft Azure Storage. So for storage also we can use the cloud utility. Then comes into picture the fourth part, which is management. अब management क्या करता है? It allocates specific resources to specific tasks. मतलब depending on what is being asked. ओके, जैसे मैंने बोला कि अगर आप सपोज कोई एप्लीकेशन फॉर्म भर रहे हो, ठीक है, सपोज यू आर रजिस्टरिंग फॉर सम एग्जाम, सो इट विल बी द ड्यूटी ऑफ द मैनेजमेंट पोर्टल, या फिर ये वाले कंपोनेंट का ड्यूटी रहेगा दैट व्हाट डेटा शुड बी प्रोसेस्ड, क्या सर्विस देनी है, क्या एप्लीकेशन के थ्रू देना है, राइट? सो ऑल दीज थिंग्स आर कनेक्टेड. So it will be the headache of the management module to take care of that, what, like depending on what request is coming from the front end, what response should be given. And जब ये response जा रहा है, ये response के अंदर आपका storage भी access होगा, okay, आपकी services भी access होंगे और आपका application भी access होगा. Because as I told you, it may happen that you are going to send some default password, or suppose you are going to send some PDF file, or suppose you are going to send some information. Now that information will obviously fetch by the management module from the storage module. ठीक है, अब सर्विसेज क्या है, अगर आपको उसको कुछ इंफॉर्मेशन पास करनी है, सो इट मे हैपन दैट विच सर्विस यू आर गोइंग टू यूज, राइट? देन थ्रू विच एप्लीकेशन, कौन से पेज के थ्रू आपको डेटा रेसिप्रोकेट करना है, फिर डेटा रिस्पॉन्ड करना है, so that will be coming from the application module. So as you can see, all these components are connected. These are not individual components. Everything is interconnected in between. Then only the things will work together as a team. So it helps in management of the components like application, task service, security, data storage, and cloud infrastructure. So as you can see, management component is very important, and it is interconnected with each and every other component present in the backend. So it basically establishes the coordination among the resources. So it is the responsibility of the management account to coordinate among everyone. Okay, coordinate between the application, coordinate between service, coordinate between storage, security. Obviously अगर आप पासवर्ड दे रहे हो या फिर अगर आप कोई पीडीएफ जनरेट कर रहे हो तो सिक्योरिटी भी पिक्चर में आएगी. All those things should be well secured, and they should not be leaked, or they should not be hacked by anyone, right? So security will also be taken care by the management module. Then lastly comes into picture the security module. So as the name suggests, it is a responsibility of the security module to take care of the security of the components which are present inside the cloud. So it is the integral part of the cloud infrastructure. It helps in protecting the cloud resources. What all resources can be? They can be files, they can be infrastructure, they can be system resources. Okay, and also it will help you to provide with the firewalls which will prevent you from the data loss. So जितना भी security related headache है और जितना भी security related responsibility है, that will be taken care by the security module. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So all these 5 components together create the backend of your cloud. ठीक है, फ्रंट एंड में ये सारी चीजें हमें पता नहीं चलती, हमें नहीं पता कि सिक्योरिटी का कौन सा एप्लीकेशन लाइक फॉर्मूला लगाया है या फिर विच वेयर द डेटा इज गेटिंग स्टोर्ड, who is managing it, which application is going to give the response. Okay, so we are not worried about what is happening in the backend, but this is like all these 5 components are running 24/7 to understand what is the request coming and what response should be given to the user. I hope this is clear to everyone. Please respond. Okay, so this we had done. Yeah, so these are the 5 basic features of your NIST cloud computing architecture. ये आपको याद रखना है. And these are the standard terms. Okay, on-demand self-service, broad network access, resource pooling, rapid elasticity and measured services. ये standard terms है. ओके, तो अगर आपको कभी वाइवा में पूछा गया दैट विच आर द 5 कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स ऑफ NIST क्लाउड कंप्यूटिंग, तो आपको यही 5 बोलने हैं. दीज आर द 5 थिंग्स व्हाट यू हैव टू से एज इट इज बिकॉज दे आर द स्टैंडर्ड. ओके, यू कैन नॉट ट्वीक द वर्ड्स, तो ये आपको याद रखना पड़ेगा. ठीक है, यू कैन क्रिएट लाइक see how to remember that, but these are the things what you have to remember. Now these things you will see one by one. What do you mean by on-demand self-service? What do you mean by broad network access? So they are very easy to understand, do not worry. So on demand self service, जो नाम जो लिखा हुआ है वही है. Whatever you demand, only for that you have to pay. So that is what is the what you can say beauty of cloud computing. जैसे मैंने कहा, अगर आप AWS के ऊपर आपका मेंबरशिप बनाते हो या फिर लेट इट बी नॉट AWS, आई गिव यू वन मोर एग्जांपल. जब आप नेटफ्लिक्स पे सब्सक्रिप्शन लेते हो, ठीक है, तो हो सकता है कि मेरे को टीवी पे नहीं देखना है नेटफ्लिक्स, मैंने सिर्फ मोबाइल फोन का सब्सक्रिप्शन लिया. Okay, so the amount what you have to pay, say for example, is 99 rupees. अगर मुझे मोबाइल पे देखना है और मुझे टीवी पे भी कास्ट करना है, then I might go for the 199 का सब्सक्रिप्शन. Suppose I want to share my credentials with my brother. ठीक है, अगर 2 या 3 लोग यूज करने वाले, so depending on that the subscription charges are different. ठीक है, आपको HD क्वालिटी चाहिए, आपको नॉर्मल क्वालिटी चाहिए, आपको SD चाहिए, ओके, आपको सुपर HD चाहिए, whatever. So that is what is on demand. आप जो like whatever you want, whatever you are requesting, only for that you have to pay. Okay, so that is what is known as pay per use. So whenever you need it, so it can also be possible that I can start my subscription and I can stop my subscription. हो सकता है मेरी गर्मी के लिए I'm having summer vacation, I know that I am free, I can use Netflix, so only for that month I take the subscription, later I stop it. So it is not कि अगर आपको पे करना है तो आपको करते ही रहना पड़ेगा. It is on demand. जब मेरे को demand है, that time I will go to that particular platform, use it, and after my use I can stop it. Similarly for AWS also. अभी आप 6th semester में हो, I know that okay, for the next 1 year also I'll be needing AWS, so I'll take a membership which is valid for say one more year, and according to that I will pay depending on what commodities I'm using from that particular platform. ठीक है, so it becomes really easy. इमेजिन अगर आप एक लैपटॉप यूज करते हो, ठीक है, आप लैपटॉप को आपको खरीदना पड़ता है, ऐसे नहीं कि मैं 1 महीना यूज करूंगा, नेक्स्ट डे जाके नेक्स्ट मंथ जाके शॉप में वापस करते हैं एंड गेट माई मनी बैक. So that is what is the difference between on-premise and cloud computing components. You can stop using. जैसे आपने rent पे लिया है, for example, okay. So one day rent pay, 2 day rent, so whatever. So that is how the cloud computing things also work. You just pay for how much you are using. So like electricity, right? अगर हमने दिन भर पंखा शुरू रखा तो ऑब्वियसली बिल ज्यादा आएगा, अगर हमने पंखा शुरू नहीं किया तो बिल कम आएगा. सो सिमिलरली क्लाउड कंप्यूटिंग भी वैसे ही काम करता है. So that is what is called as utility computing. So depending on your utilization, you will be charged. Okay. So this is what has been explained here. So you can just go through these slides. I'll upload this slide once we are done with this particular topic. I'll upload this on Moodle. Then you can go through this. So you are billed at the end of the month depending on what you have used. So that is what is the explanation of on-demand self-service. So that is the first characteristic. Second characteristic is broad network access. Okay, so the very important thing is internet connectivity. So that is the crux and that is the like heart and soul of your cloud computing. अगर internet नहीं रहेगा तो कुछ नहीं होगा, कुछ कर नहीं पाओगे, ठीक है? So wherever you are, your cloud data should be connected and it can be browsed or it can be accessed only if you are having the correct or the stable internet connectivity, ठीक है? So that is why it is said the second characteristic is broad network access. अगर आपके पास network access है, अगर internet है, तो you can access it from anywhere, anytime. So that is why the access range is broad. बहुत ज़्यादा है. ऐसा नहीं कि अगर सिर्फ घर पे ही आप यूज कर पाओगे या फिर सिर्फ कॉलेज में यूज कर पाओगे. अगर गूगल ड्राइव है तो आप कहीं से भी यूज कर सकते हो. That is the reason the access area is very huge and very broad. Next is resource pooling. Now, resource pooling मतलब see, say for example, अच्छा, have you heard about this? Anyone? क्या आपने ये term सुना है and and are you aware of this particular concept of WeWork? Can anyone explain me? किसी ने सुना है ये बात?
Ma'am, is that means dynamic resource allocation?
Yes, but then yeah, so that is dynamic resource allocation. But why am I quoting this example? Anybody knows? What is this? Acha, if you have not heard it, you can Google it. This is a new concept. Now, what this concept is, say for example, अगर मुझे कोई startup start करनी है, ठीक है? अब जैसे आप 6th semester में हो और आपकी suppose for example 6th sem की exams होने के बाद you have 2-3 months का vacation, okay? And if you feel कि चलो अभी मेरे को cloud computing का knowledge है, मेरे को Python आता है, मेरे को say for example मुझे बहुत अच्छे से website building आता है, and you want to see that can I work as a freelancer, okay, and so can I become a freelancing website developer, because you feel that okay मेरे पास काफी knowledge आ गया है website development and I want to create my startup company, but you are also aware कि भाई मैं तो engineering student हूँ, I just want to check my expertise in this summer vacation, then obviously you will not be renting or you will not be buying a cubicle for yourself, right? आप खुद जाके आप अपना कंपनी सेटअप नहीं करोगे क्योंकि आप अभी भी पढ़ाई कर रहे हो, ठीक है? You just want to see that where you stand and how much good you can do. So instead of that, एक तो आप रेंट पे ले सकते हो, ठीक है? बट अब रेंट पे भी लोगे तो अपने यहाँ पे भी रेंट एटलीस्ट 1 month का आपको देना पड़ेगा, then you'll have to give some deposit. So all those things get difficult. Now this is a concept or this is a company basically who have, so WeWork is a company which is becoming very popular in India now, right? मुंबई में तो उसके बहुत सारे ब्रांचेस, आई डोंट नो अबाउट अदर सिटीज, बट मुंबई में लाइक हीरानंदानी में है, पवई में है, यहाँ पे ठाणे में है, इवन इन अंधेरी यू हैव. सो व्हाट हैपेंस इज, सो दिस इज अ कंपनी, वो लोग क्या करते हैं, एक बिल्डिंग ले लेंगे, ठीक है? बिल्डिंग ले लेंगे या फिर एक फ्लोर ले लेंगे, सपोज उन्होंने उसका 8th फ्लोर ले लिया. 8th फ्लोर पे दे विल गिव यू ऑल द बेसिक कंपोनेंट्स व्हिच आर रिक्वायर्ड फॉर सेटिंग अप अ कंपनी. से फॉर एग्जांपल यहाँ पर आपका प्रॉपर्ली वॉशरूम्स बनाए रहेंगे, क्यूबिकल्स बनाए रहेंगे, देन देयर विल बी अ स्मॉल कैफेटेरिया. अब यहाँ पर कोई एक कंपनी नहीं है, इट्स लाइक देयर आर मल्टीपल रूम्स व्हिच आर अवेलेबल, ठीक है? आपको क्या करना, अगर आपको लगता है कि हाँ आई कैन लाइक आई नीड अ स्पेस वेयर आई कैन सिट, वेयर आई नीड टू मीट पीपल, बिकॉज अगर आप वेबसाइट डेवलपमेंट में हो, आप घर पे बैठे काम नहीं कर सकते हो ना. यू कैन नॉट डिस्कस विद योर पेरेंट्स विल बी नॉट, आई मीन सपोज दे आर नॉट फ्रॉम अ टेक्निकल बैकग्राउंड, ऑब्वियसली you will not get a good networking there. So what you can do is you can simply take your laptop, यहाँ पे proper internet connectivity सब कुछ रहेगा, okay, which whatever is, एक printer रहेगा, एक xerox machine रहेगी, तो जो भी एक basic company start करने के लिए लगता है वो सारी चीजें यहाँ पर present है. ये किसने दिया? ये WeWork provide करता है. आपको क्या करना है, you will go there, you will say or you will take 1 month का या फिर 1 day का वहाँ पे subscription या whatever, and you will say that I want to work here for a few days, ठीक है? Now when you are going there, you are only paying some basic amount, say for example 1000 rupees per day. आप 1000 rupees per day दे रहे हो, but वो 1000 rupees per day में you can access their cafeteria, you can access their printers, जो भी उनका इंटरनेट कनेक्टिविटी, उनका एसी का बिल, ये सब उनका हेडेक है। आप क्या कर रहे हो, आप सिर्फ 1,000 रुपए दे रहे हो दिन का, और आपको क्या मिलेगा यहाँ पर, एक एनवायरमेंट मिलेगा, एक ऑफिस का एनवायरमेंट मिलेगा, बट यू आर ओनली पेइंग फॉर द ड्यूरेशन व्हाट यू आर यूजिंग। अब आपने बोला मेरे को एक दिन काम करना है, सो यू वेंट देयर एट 9 AM, यू लेफ्ट द ऑफिस एट 9 PM। ओके, सपोज मैं गई वहां पे, ठीक है, मैंने बोला कि मैं सुबह ऑफिस जाती हूँ, मैं और मेरे को रात में काम करना है, then WeWork is available 24/7. Okay, I will use the same place and the same room what you use from 9 AM to 9 PM. हो सकता है मैं 9 PM से start करूँ use करना till 8 AM in the morning. So getting my point. So what is happening? WeWork is renting down the same property or the same place or the same commodity to two people. तो उसका क्या फायदा हुआ, उसको सिर्फ इतना सेटअप करके देना है. So that is what is resource pooling. Okay, you are only setting up the thing once and people depending on their use are coming, using it and leaving. और जब वो चीज फ्री है वो कोई और आके यूज कर रहा है, ठीक है. So that is what is resource pooling and that is what actually happens on cloud platform also. अगर suppose I'm doing some project, ठीक है, अगर मैंने suppose AWS पे कोई project क्या कहते हैं अपलोड किया है and suppose I'm using it right now, I'm using it, so whatever data center is taking care, suppose say for example Ohio का एक data center assigned है for this project P1. So right now Ohio का say example this particular part is busy with project P1 because right now project P1 is running, but मेरा कॉलेज आज खत्म हो जाता है, I go home. तो यूएस का कोई बंदा है, ठीक है, तो ये सपोज इंडिया का था and उसका कॉलेज खत्म हो गया and this P1 is now closed, so this is free, this particular data center का part is free. Now कोई दूसरा बंदा आया चाइना या यूएस का, उसके working hours different है, now the same will be assigned there. Okay, suppose for example P2, so P2 के लिए same resources allot किए, so what is happening, the resource pooling is happening, ठीक है. So that is what is the nature of cloud computing. So you just have, or the cloud computing, what it will do, it will just set up the things once, okay, and depending on what things are free and what time they are free, the things will be allotted to multiple users. So ऐसा नहीं है कि आपको dedicated server मिलता है. That is why it is said that your websites will never crash because the data centers are so huge, the servers are so huge that कभी ना कभी कोई ना कोई cluster available रहता ही है because the things are not dedicated. आप खरीद नहीं रहे हो, ठीक है, आप ये नहीं बोल रहे कि ये रूम मेरी है. WeWork में आप ये नहीं कह सकते कि ये मैं यहीं पे काम करूंगा. आपने आज यहाँ पे काम किया, कल ये अगर फ्री नहीं है तो आपको दूसरा रूम दिया जाएगा. Okay, so that is what is your resource pooling is. So today suppose I worked or the Ohio data center was given to me, हो सकता है next day मेरे को Virginia मिल जाए. Okay, so that is not in our hand, right? So that is what is the resource pooling. So multiple tenants. So you are a tenant, you are just paying the amount or paying the fees for the things what you are using. You do not owe them. आप उसको खरीद नहीं, आप उसके ऊपर कोई हक नहीं रहता है, ठीक है. So that is what is the concept of resource pooling. Multiple tenants can share the same space and resources and can be assigned, reassigned, distributed as needed. आपको ये assign किया था, ठीक है, 9 AM to 9 PM में आप चले गए तो ये reassign किया गया किसी और बंदे को. आप next day आए, ये free नहीं था तो आपको distribute किया गया अलग जगह पे, ठीक है. So that is what is the meaning of resource pooling. Then you can be anywhere in the world and still have equal access as everyone else provided you have the internet access. And as I told you, suppose you will not feel any difference. Okay, अगर आपको नहीं पता है कि आपका कौन सा डेटा सेंटर है, but that is the reason you will not feel any difference. आपको नहीं पता चलेगा कि कौन सा डेटा सेंटर यूज हो रहा है because the look and feel and the performance which is coming from the backend will be exactly equal, exactly similar to what you experienced the previous day. Okay, so this is the resource pooling concept. Next is rapid elasticity. Now this is very important. जो मैंने आपको example दिया था रेलवे वेबसाइट का irctc.gov.in का, as I told you that जब तात्काल का टाइम आता है, say for example 8 AM to 10 AM, so only 2 hours का window मिलता था where the people used to go like log into their account and try to book the ticket. Now imagine government का website है and there are so many people who are trained travelers. So ये जो है there was a lot of traffic jam as in there were so many people who were trying to access that website and हमेशा वो loading में रहता था. Okay, the window was always used to load because वो access नहीं हो पा रही थी. And that is what elasticity is. Okay, so your application should be smart enough or intelligent enough to understand that what is the requirement at that particular time. उस moment पे क्या requirement है और उस moment पे it should be available to change or to make the decisions quickly. तो ये जैसे आपका मैंने जैसे एग्जांपल दिया, मिंत्रा का सेल होता है या फिर अमेजोन का सेल होता है, राइट? मिंत्रा का भी एंड ऑफ रीजन सेल था. सपोज माय वेबसाइट जनरली, ओके, यूजुअल डेज पे जब सेल वेल नहीं होती, यूजुअली मेरे वेबसाइट पे रोज के 1000 कस्टमर्स का फुटप्रिंट है, ठीक है? 1000 कस्टमर्स विजिट मिंत्रा.com एवरी डे. ओके, बट जब सेल का टाइम आता है, सपोज क्रिसमस सेल है या फिर न्यू ईयर सेल है, 1000 का हो सकता है 10,000 हो जाए या फिर 25,000 भी हो सकता है, बिकॉज वेबसाइट है, राइट? एवरीबडी हैज गॉट अ फोन, सबके पास मिंत्रा का ऐप है, तो कोई भी उठ के वो वेबसाइट देख सकता है, राइट? कभी भी टाइम मिला. सो एंड ऑल्सो दैट डिपेंड्स ऑन द टाइम. ओके, नाउ हो सकता है कि मॉर्निंग 9 AM आई एम हैविंग लेस ट्रैफिक, बट रात के लाइक एट 9 PM आई माइट हैव मोर ट्रैफिक. Okay, so that is where elasticity comes into picture. Okay, and that is what cloud. Just a moment. One second. Yeah, so that is where elasticity comes into picture. Your application or your website should be elastic enough to expand or shrink. Okay, so expansion is जब आपका traffic बढ़ जाएगा, shrinking is जब आपका traffic less हो जाएगा. तो हो सकता है कि 9 PM को 25,000 आ गए, हो सकता है कि धीरे धीरे वो कम होने लगे. So shrinking and expanding दोनों चीजें properly और easily होनी चाहिए. So that is what is called as rapid elasticity. And why rapid? Because the things should be quick. Okay, the effect should be quick. ऐसे नहीं कि 1 घंटा लग रहा है पेज लोड होने के लिए, obviously you are going to lose your customers. ठीक है? So that is what is rapid elasticity. Then measured services. So measured services is the billing part. ओके, तो आप जितना यूज करोगे उतना ही आपको पे करना है. जैसे हमने लाइट का इलेक्ट्रिसिटी बिल का देखा था, हम जितना यूज करते हैं उतना हमको पे करना होता है. तो वैसे यहाँ पे पे एज यू गो. Okay, suppose I'm using AWS for quantum engineering, या फिर मैं कोई बहुत बड़ा कुछ एक computing करने वाली हूँ, and the servers and the networking what I require is really big, really huge, जिसमें मुझे काफी पैसा देना है, I need to keep my resources on 24/7 for 1 month, तो उतना बिलिंग लगेगा. बट अगर मेरा बहुत ही छोटा सा एप्लीकेशन है, ओके, एक सिंपल सी वेबसाइट है, लॉग इन लॉग आउट वाली, जहाँ पे कुछ नहीं करना है, सो इट कैन बी एक्सेस और इट कैन बी डन यूजिंग अ फ्री टायर थिंग ऑल्सो. मेरे को वहां पे हो सकता है कि मेरा फ्री में काम हो जाए. Okay, so depending on that, you have to pay, and that particular concept is called as measured services. Okay, so this can be asked in Viva. This is very important, as I told you. ये 5 चीजें और उनका उनका explanation. Okay, with some simple examples, right? So this you have to go through, and this explanation which has been given here is very easy to understand. So you can go through this while when I'll upload this on Moodle. Okay. What is the time? Okay, students, I'll start this later. I'll quickly just show you कि ये क्या होने वाला है, because 11:54 हो गया. I'll quickly take your attendance and then I'll leave you. So this is what are the 2 basic components or not components, the concepts of cloud computing. Till now we talked about the features and the architecture. Now we are going to tomorrow we will see the deployment models and the service models. This is what is very important. ओके, एज इन क्लाउड काम कैसे करता है. सो क्लाउड के डिप्लॉयमेंट मॉडल्स होते हैं 4. सो दीज आर द 4 डिप्लॉयमेंट मॉडल्स और द वे क्लाउड वर्क्स. सो अ क्लाउड कैन बी अ पब्लिक क्लाउड, अ प्राइवेट क्लाउड, हाइब्रिड एंड अ कम्युनिटी क्लाउड. नाउ सपोज जस्ट टू गिव यू अ वेरी इजी एग्जांपल, पब्लिक क्लाउड से फॉर एग्जांपल बस की तरह होता है, टीएमटी या फिर बीएसटी बस की तरह. मतलब वहां पे कोई सिक्योरिटी नहीं है, एनीवन कैन गो. आपको जहां से जहां तक जा रहा है, मतलब वॉट एवर यू आर यूजिंग, ओनली दैट मच टिकट यू हैव टू टेक और दैट मच पेमेंट यू हैव टू डू. दैट इज व्हाट योर पब्लिक क्लाउड डज. प्राइवेट क्लाउड मतलब योर ओन कार. जब आप आपकी खुद की कार में ट्रैवल करते हो, इट इज सिक्योर्ड. ओके, नो थर्ड पर्सन और नो क्या कहते हैं, एनोनिमस पर्सन कैन कम एंड सिट इन योर, और सॉरी स्ट्रेंजर पर्सन कैन कम एंड सिट इन योर कार. आप अपने हिसाब से, आपकी हैसियत के हिसाब से यू कैन टेक अ बिग ब्रांड का कार या फिर स्मॉल ब्रांड का कार, महंगा गाड़ी, छोटा गाड़ी, व्हाटएवर. सो दैट इज व्हाट इज प्राइवेट क्लाउड. Okay, that it's well secured. Okay, you can depending on your level, you can take or you can own the car, right? Then the next component is hybrid. Hybrid is, say for example, cab. मतलब मेरे को बस में नहीं जाना है, ठीक है? I want to use some easy way to do the work, but then I also did not want to invest a lot. तो वो हो गया एग्जाम्पल कैब का, जैसे उबर एंड ओला. ओके, आप कैब में ट्रैवल करते हो, बट देन यू डोंट ओ दैट कार, वो आपकी खुद की गाड़ी नहीं रहती है, बट यू आर ऑल्सो पेइंग सम more amount as compared to the ticket what you had taken for bus. So that is your cab. And what is community cloud? Community cloud matlab the cloud or the data which is shared by specific community. So community can be a government site, okay, army. तो जो भी, या फिर कोई अगर हॉस्पिटल्स है तो सारे हॉस्पिटल्स ने मिलके अपना एक क्लाउड बना दिया जिसमें सिर्फ हॉस्पिटल के लोग ही एक्सेस कर सकते हैं. ओके, सो कम्युनिटी एज कम्युनिटी क्लाउड विल बी dedicated for a specific community people. Okay, so that is what is the example of community cloud. So tomorrow when we'll meet, I'll quickly explain you that the definition, few examples, and then we will move to yeah, then we'll move to the IaaS, PaaS and SaaS. So this is what will be required for your practicals as well. Okay, so students, quickly start writing down your roll numbers and name in the chat box so that it gets recorded in the meeting and that becomes easy for me to take your attendance. Yeah. I hope you are understanding what I'm teaching, and if I'm slow, if I'm fast, please let me know. Your feedback is very important for me. Do you people have class representative or CR in your class?
No, ma'am.
अच्छा, ऐसा कोई concept नहीं है, चलो ठीक है. Okay. Yes, students, you can just write your name and you can leave the meeting, no problem. But then please do not forget to write your name because वहीं से मैं आपका attendance लूँगी. Write your name and then leave. Yes, Omkar, Nishra and Zeel, write down your name in the chat box and then you can leave.